Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the absolutely chaotic story of one of the hottest AI projects of 2026. Seriously, this thing blew up, tangled with lawyers, and got hijacked by crypto scammers, all in about a week. Let's talk about OpenClaw. So, picture this. What if your personal AI assistant, the one you trust with everything, had 3 different names in 1 week? Sounds crazy, right? Well, that's exactly what happened here. A project went viral, and almost immediately, the lawyers came knocking and the crypto scammers pounced, all in just a few days. And this timeline, wow, it just lays out the pure chaos of it all. We start with Claude Bot in early January. By January 27th, it's called Moltbot. And just 3 days later, it's OpenClaw. The project's whole identity was in a blender, right at the peak of its popularity. Insane. Okay, Section 1, the promise. We're talking about an AI that does things. So before we get into all that naming drama, we really need to understand what this tool is and why it got everyone so excited in the first place. So, what is OpenClaw? Well, it's an open-source personal AI assistant. But here's the key difference. It runs on your computer. That means it has access to your files, your apps, and it can actually take action for you. This isn't just some chatbot on a website. No. This is designed to be a real partner, living right there on your own machine. And this is where it gets really interesting. Think about traditional assistants like Siri or Alexa, right? They're cloud-based, they wait for you to talk to them, and they forget everything pretty quick. OpenClaw? Totally different. It's on your machine, so it's proactive. It can literally message you first. It could text you a morning briefing, sort out your inbox, or check you in for flight, all without you even asking. Plus, it has a persistent memory, so it actually gets to know you over time. Their whole tagline was, your assistant, your machine, your rules. And man, did that resonate with people. It just hit a nerve for everyone who's tired of big tech companies controlling everything. This idea of, digital sovereignty, it was a huge deal. And the response was just immediate and massive. We're talking over 100,000 GitHub stars in under a month. That's explosive viral interest. It got so crazy that it actually caused a shortage of Mac Minis because developers were scrambling to buy them just to run their own personal AI assistants. That's how big this was. All right, on to Section 2, the peril, the spicy reality. Because, with great power comes great risk. And the very thing that makes OpenClaw so incredibly powerful is also what makes it, incredibly dangerous. I mean, even the creator, Peter Steinberger, said it himself. He called it spicy. Running an AI agent with shell access on your machine is spicy. And what he means by shell access is basically giving the AI the keys to the kingdom. Full, unrestricted access to your computer's command line. It's a huge, huge security risk. And yeah, this wasn't just some theoretical what-if scenario. The danger was very real. Hundreds of these AI instances were accidentally exposed to the public internet for anyone to find. They were wide open to prompt injection attacks, credential theft, you name it. A total goldmine for hackers. And of course, the scammers saw their chance, hijacking the old social media handles to launch a bunch of fraudulent crypto coins. Just a total mess. So you hear open source and you think free, right? Well, not so fast. There's a real cost to this whole thing. You need the hardware, like a Mac Mini or a Raspberry Pi. Then you've got the monthly API bills to talk to models from OpenAI or Claude, which can add up. And maybe most importantly, this is not for, normies. The technical setup takes hours and a lot of know-how to do it securely. Okay, so this brings us to Section 3. Why does this 1 week even matter? I mean, it's just one niche open source project, right? Well, the reason we should all care is because this story is a perfect microcosm, a tiny snapshot of the entire AI industry right now. So, takeaway number 1, the AI branding wars are officially on. Think about it. The whole reason they had to change the name from Claudebot was because Anthropic, the makers of Claude, sent a polite but very firm, please change that. It's a huge sign that as AI becomes big business, these major players are going to protect their trademarks like hawks. Takeaway number 2 is a big one. People are absolutely craving AI that they can actually control. The fact that this thing went viral, despite all the obvious risks we just talked about, proves there's this massive, untapped demand for self-hosted AI. People want an alternative to just handing over all their data to some giant company's cloud. And takeaway number 3. Viral success is a magnet for scammers and lawyers. It's a classic cautionary tale, right? When you have that much speed and that much attention, chaos is pretty much guaranteed. The second this thing blew up, it had to deal with problems it was never built for. We're talking crypto grifters, trademark attorneys, the whole shebang. Finally, takeaway number 4. AI security is a huge, and I mean huge, unsolved problem. What happened with OpenClaw, that messy, rocky start, it's really just a sneak peek. It's a preview of the security nightmares that every single AI company is going to face as they try to give these AI agents more and more access to our digital lives. Which brings us to our final section, the new shell. This is where the future of personal AI starts to take shape, and where our lobster finds its final form. It's the story of how a chaotic little hack tried to grow up and become something stable and reliable. So, how did they harden the shell? Well, first, the final rebrand to OpenClaw was super deliberate. No more frantic changes. They calmly secured the trademarks and the domains beforehand. Second, security became priority number 1. The new release had 34 separate security-related fixes and really clear warnings for users. Third, it became model agnostic. It wasn't just Claude with hands anymore. It became a platform for models from OpenAI, Google, whoever. And finally, it really leaned into being an open source community project, a foundation for other people to build on. And they really leaned into the whole lobster thing. The official announcement just said, "The lobster has molted into its final form." It's a perfect metaphor, right? Growth means you have to shed that old, tight, restrictive shell to make room for something stronger and way more capable. So, at the end of the day, the wild story of OpenClaw leaves us all with a really fundamental question. The future of personal AI is here, right now. So what's it going to be? Will you choose the convenience of the cloud, just handing your data over for an easy life? Or will you choose the control, the power that comes from running it all on your own machine? It's a choice we're all going to have to make.